by all
Michelle,
of it.
say what you said earlier before we came on the air about.
Was I cussing?
No. You were talking about the watching and seeing the folks, particularly and specifically black women.
So I had an immediate understanding of Kamala because Kamala was everywhere there. All the women were Kamala. It was
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, if you so
Which is what I'm saying. Everybody's the same.
be quiet.
Okay,
for a
I gotta be
second.
quiet now. Now I gotta be quiet.
Because
Okay.
because you're getting ready to go back to where I don't want you to go. So my point is, my heart was so full to see all of these black women who just were in their skin. There was no hesitation. There was no. I guess I would say they weren't like me, a black woman who is a proud black woman. I am. But they had a whole other thing going on. Right?
Unapologetically black
Yeah,
women.
and I think that they carry that out in the world, which makes a huge difference. I mean, if you look at Kamala's energy, just the way she navigates through the world physically, right? So she's
Yeah.
got this physical thing, but then this what's internal backs it up.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
The best manifestation of that was when she shook Trump's hand.
And
Yes.
he didn't let her
Debate.
pull her in like he
She
tried to
rolled
do.
up on him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
did.
did.
She
She
did.
did.
And gracefully walked over to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Told him her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confident.
Because you've been getting it wrong, player.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
this is
right,
why-
right.
It's there's so many ways of describing what we're seeing with her, what she's doing, how she's doing it, and I just am so proud that she's running the way that she is. It's just something special.
It's amazing.
It is
I
something
saw
special.
a clip of her today embracing an older woman who was saying she was scared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she was holding her so tight. And of course, I shed a tear. But I thought.
Snotty Pippen strikes again.
Yeah.
But I thought, that's the compassion that we just don't have.
Yeah, folks are tired
It's
of the
not
garbage.
there.
You know.
Yeah, so here's the thing that I'm observing, and Michelle Obama said it this week in her speech.
Child, she was amazing.
Yeah, she put in some work, didn't she?
Yeah.
This double standard
Yeah.
Yes.
where you expect Kamala to dazzle, but you allow that imbecile to just say anything and say, hey, he's just being Trump.
To be,
Well, and
to
walk
be
up-
slobbery and nasty and just rolling it on like nothing's happening.
Yeah, with
Meanwhile,
diapers
she-
full.
Right. Meanwhile, she's got to walk on a tight
Boo-boo
rope
man, okay.
with alligators down below, snakes and everything else you can imagine. Yeah, I mean that's the part that's frustrating. Frustrating is not the right word. It makes you want to throw something at somebody.
Yeah, makes me angry.
But what it reminds me of is the fact that this is a team sport.
Yeah.
I mean, that everybody at some level participates in this. Reference the Washington Post
Oh my
and the
gosh.
LA Times
Like, what?
deciding for some magical reason this year, owned by billionaires, by the way,
Yeah.
that they're
Jeff
not going to
Bezos.
endorse a candidate for president in such a pivotal election.
One of those billionaires is a immigrant, which is nothing wrong with that. But the point is, you're taking a publication that has served millions of people for decades and said, "Nah, we ain't gonna do nothing." And then the other one is a billionaire that's born here, but people think he came from he bootstrapped it up. No, mom and daddy cut him a check for $300,000, and he went out and built Amazon. And
Which is an amazing feat too. But yeah, you're right.
but take the $300,000 away, and what do we have?
Right.
So the people that think that this is the Washington Post for Jeff Bezos is just it's like a box of Kleenex. It doesn't really matter to him. So the fact that he would punk out like he has is really indicative of him at this point, because he could take the position that I don't care about what people say I might be afraid of. I'm Jeff Bezos. I'm gonna make it. We're gonna endorse a candidate. So what it tells you also is that he was probably certain that the editorial board,
Wasn't going to say anything.
no, they were going to endorse Vice President Harris, because if he's legitimately thinking my concern is that there's going to be retribution from Donald Trump, then he would have encouraged them to endorse.
I dare say that I don't know that it's necessarily fear of retribution as much as it's maybe he's a Trump supporter.
I think that because what kind of retribution can DT do to Jeff Bezos?
Well, he can trash talk him to death. He could, but
Yeah, he could make
People
it
are never going to
unnecessarily
stop
difficult.
shopping at Amazon.
But, huh?
People are never going to stop shopping on it.
Well, that's the real pushback. I'm hearing people, folks saying, "Well, I'm canceling my subscription to the Washington Post."
Yep.
That ain't gonna do anything. If you want to have any impact on Bezos, not his personal wealth, but on what his claim to fame is, then people should stop shopping from through Amazon and shop directly through the distributor.
Well, that's true.
That would have an impact if there's a 10-15% drop. You think, E?
I mean, that's the fiscal
The
violence.
fiscal violence,
you're
yeah.
talking about.
I don't disagree with people canceling their subscriptions.
That
so,
too.
Yeah, I did mine. I canceled
yeah,
mine.
So
think
did
we
I.
should.
But I think the bigger thing is we're living in an age of white backlash. We're here because Obama was elected
Yep.
and elected again.
Yep.
And
And still has influence.
right. And so all these things contribute to my way of thinking, a continuation of who this country is. And this is the way my cousin Mario says, it's a team sport. Right? You have to have participants. The problem is you got people who are on the team, who are on the bench, who may not necessarily like the team, probably don't get no playing time,
Yeah.
but they go back to the locker room and enjoy the champagne when they win.
Yep.
Right.
That's a good analogy.
So I always ask people the same question. So if that is not the case, when did it end? If you're standing on my foot and we agree that you're going to get your ass off of my foot and you start the process of getting off of my foot, even at some point, you are completely off of my foot.
Yeah.
And so it's the same question. What day did it change?
Right. Yeah. I forgot about it that way. And I don't think that the folks who are on that team have an answer, yet alone they don't even give a damn about taking their foot off our neck or their foot off of our foot. They get pleasure and joy out of it.
Yep.
And so to Eric's point, when did it end? When did we reach that point where we go, oh, we can draw the line right there. There's a Mendoza line.
Right.
It doesn't exist.
White backlash is no longer a thing.
Right.
When did that stop? We've got history. I was reading a story. I remember reading a story about a man. He was in one of those states down there that are really, really good at racism. And he did something to some white man, and the punishment that he had was that white man made him memorize and read the menu in some restaurant down there to everybody who came in for like a week. Now, if you're a grown man with kids and you have to stand in a restaurant doing that, I remember my grandfather telling me how the white folks back then they would make dinner and then people would come by the house, white folks would come by the house and just take the dinner.
Just walk in
The
and take
pots
it.
and everything. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, it's different than that. But this is what we're living in now, and why it's so close, at least statistically from the polls, is because of white backlash. How in the world can you be the country that you describe yourself as and have an imbecile competitive for the election? How does that even happen?
Right. Even before Vice President Harris became the nominee, even competitive with Biden. Yes, Biden's old, Biden this, Biden that. But from a policy standpoint, from a, quote, better than average dude, how could we, in a country, and again, let's frame this, in a country that says it's all about this, we're this wonderful country, we're all these things, which I agree with, but how could you have that imbecile, that orange menace be at the top of your representation? And I do consciously fault the unfortunately high percentage of white women in America that voted 53 and 57% respectively. You can't get away from that. You all day long we can talk about what white dudes do. We've lived it all our lives, but it's the segment of the population that is supposed to be the vaunted voter.
Right. That's really what pisses me off, too, because you hear a lot about them blaming black men.
Right.
But when you know that 80% of black men are going to vote for Kamala
It's
anyway.
at 87% right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, E.
No, but you're right, though. So most of us are going to vote, but somehow or another black men are the issue. How do we get blamed?
Do the math. First of all, I say this all the time. Do the doggone math. The people are supposed to be the smartest people in the room. If 100,000 black men, 5% move to vote for Trump, that's 5,000 voters. By contrast, take 1 million white women voters, and if 5% less vote for Harris, game over. But that's not the conversation. And not one, and I paid attention, not one media outlet, even the folks over at MSNBC, just until recently, as I predicted back in June, that the floor was cracking for Trump. in the sense that the white uneducated voters were starting to peel away. And then CNN finally 2 weeks ago did a little thing on, yeah, you know, the numbers of white uneducated voters, not college educated voters, are starting to slip away from Donald Trump. But black men are going to cause a problem for Vice President Harris? Good
Walk
Lord.
around trying to blame us like this. I know that then they find the one black imbecile. You know, it's always the case. I was there. I seen it all. That brother.
And, see, and black folks like E have the confidence to say one black imbecile.
Yeah, they find him and then they project him as though he's
representative of everybody that's black.
Well, that's what
This is going. If for some reason Kamala loses, this is on white women.
I don't want to speak that anymore.
I know you was going to do that. She's going to get all snotty if you keep talking like that.
Don't talk. Just don't speak it into the.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
She's right, though. I mean, he's right, though. Both of y'all are right.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Don't speak it, but he's right to speak it.
The numbers.
Okay, you cannot play both ends.
Okay.
See, I got kidney bone-itis because of her, man.
I'm gonna be quiet.
773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
This is Paul Mark Wallace, president of InSync Consulting Services. Our website is www.insynccs.com. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you. Whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck.
You better call Darnell.
Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI?
Think you better call Darnell.
Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony?
I think you better call Darnell.
Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm?
I think you better call Darnell.
When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home?
I think you better call Darnell.
That's right, you better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
Calling all valued members of the American Veterinary Medical Association, or AVMA. Your future retirement goals can be achieved. Introducing the AVMA Retirement Plan. Tailored to meet the distinct needs of veterinarians with streamlined administration and reduced burdens. Vets enjoy unrivaled benefits that include service provider oversight, knowledgeable expert investment guidance, and delegated fiduciary services. Veterinarians who use this plan can say goodbye to annual retirement plan audits and annual retirement plan tax reporting. Veterinarians, you can enjoy retirement your way with customizable plans to suit your practice's unique structure. From eligibility to vesting schedules and more, elevate your retirement journey with AVMA's specialized plan. Learn more by sending an email to polaris@polarisadvice.com. Secure your veterinary legacy starting today. Email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through LimeTree Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Mind Street are not affiliated.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
This is Matt Fisher. You can find me at Mr_Funny87 at Twitter, and welcome back to the Family Meeting.
on that right now to get what we got to get done. But it's the people, E, like you've said so many times. How are we going to live with these people? These are the folks that you see them and you can project that they might be the person at the DMV granting your driver's license. They might be the assistant at a doctor's office that decides to make you, move your chart to the bottom of the thing, and somebody else gets moved up. And the list goes on and on and on.
They walk among us every day.
But those people were there before they started showing their behind.
True. That makes it worse.
And then, but then the other question I have is, what do you think happened to the people during the civil rights movement? Where did those people go? Where did those people go who were standing in front of dead bodies, and they still lived?
Well, that goes back to my point. What day did it end?
Right, because people have said for such a long time, this will all get better when those old white racist folks.
Oh no, they
die
did a good
off.
job teaching their kids.
They taught their kids, and that's why I keep saying, look at the numbers, look at the math, look at the numbers. The folks that are right now, just look as objectively as you can. The folks that are causing the most hell in this current environment we're in, politically and socially, are between 42-ish, 42-ish and 58-ish.
Younger than us.
They ain't 75. These are folks that are younger than us and grew up, and I've said this before, they watched folks like us make it. And they're like, well, how come I didn't make it? Or how come my life isn't better? They got something that I didn't get. And they're the ones that are just the elected. J.D. Vance is 40 years old.
Yeah.
He mathematically could be my son.
Yep.
So we look at that and go, they didn't.
You are that old, aren't you?
I know. but yours too, actually. But that being said,
Not quite. It'd be a teenage birth, maybe.
but okay,
It'd be an oops.
It'd be an oops, right? But think about that, E. How many times have you said this? That the people who have the least amount of concern about this are the ones that make the most amount of noise.
Yep. Just squeaky wheel.
Consistently.
I still don't, and I've asked the question many times here on this broadcast. I have no idea how we ever leave with these people.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see November 5th them saying, you know what, we'll get them next time. I can't see them doing anything like that.
What do you see them doing, Eric?
Oh, it would be the passive aggressive world of passive aggressive worlds.
Yeah.
You would find all manner of things. You'd have bank owners who support this dude deciding, I'm not taking any applications for mortgages from black people.
Yeah, and they can get away with it because they can code it in a way that nobody knows but the 4 or 5 people that are in their circle.
Yeah, or they'll just pay the fine if they're busted.
How many times has Eric ever shared the story with you, Michelle, about earlier in his career?
Oh, yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about. You tell the story.
It was an insurance company who it became apparent to a judge that they were not hiring and promoting people of color at the same rate they were doing so for everybody else. So the judge issued a court decree and said that, listen, for the next 5 years, you have to meet these proportionate numbers. And the CEO at the time said, we'll just pay the fine. We ain't hiring no black folks like that.
Yeah.
He said it to black folks, that we ain't going to do that.
So
They don't care.
layer that over November 6th. We win, quote, and everybody says, okay, we got that done. But I think the work starts there because
beginning.
all the people who are the crazies are still going to they're suddenly going to wake up the next morning and go, okay, I'm relieved of the fever. And in some ways, they're going to probably heighten their fever because they're going to play the game of, cheating and all this other garbage. But that just goes back to something that Eric has said so many times. The people who that would benefit from the changes that we're advocating for are the ones that ironically are fighting them the hardest.
Yeah.
They don't see that the policies that are coming from, and again, Democrats ain't perfect, we get that, but the policies are not designed to hurt anybody.
Right. In fact, many of them are benefited from them, but they can't even bridge the gap between who's doing that. And to your point, Michelle, earlier about they've always been here, I don't know if they've been here in this way.
Well, no, because they've been here, but they've been able to magnify themselves because they have that orange person who's given them permission.
Gives them
to be
permission.
Well, I think the
loud
difference
and
is
proud.
that they were unfair prior to him. They're angry now.
Say that again?
They were unfair previously.
Oh.
They're angry now.
Yeah, that's
Because they're willing to do and say wild things.
with any regard because they feel like the dude. And see, here's the thing. This is where it's sort of infiltrated further down into the folks. And what I mean by that is Trump is not the only one that's giving them permission. It's people on a local level that are but they're looking at Trump and saying, oh yeah, if he's doing it, I'm gonna do it. So now you got regional officials and you got local officials that are doing the same garbage, which is keeping this chronologically younger group of people fired up and, to your point, still crazy. And that after this election's over, they're not gonna go away.
And to your point, they've always been that way. They've always participated at some level in being unfair, but now they're mean about it.
Yep.
And they're willing to kill people and die about it.
Yeah. Let me suggest this though, because it's a new day, and I do think it's going to be crazy after the election with these people angrier, thinking that it was stolen. We're going to have to go through all that crap. But this is what I think the great equalizer is, and I think it's social media. So I think that if somebody...
You're not even on social media.
I'm on Twitter and Instagram.
Are you? Since when?
I've always been on
Last
Instagram,
night.
but I'm just I just look.
Okay, tell us about the great
I
equalizer.
feel judgment.
The silent, this silence over
I
here.
know. Suddenly she's got every account
You
on
know
social
what?
media.
I do. You can look at anyway. My point is, when you're talking about a banker or a bank saying that they're not going to give loans to people of color, women, blah blah blah, we now have a place to go where we can amplify what this specific organization, entity, person is doing. And the backlash comes from the people who agree with the one who was wronged. And I think shining a light on things has the ability to squash it.
Well, why are you so silent then?
You know what? I am going to.
Well, I gotta get punished because I highlighted the fact that you.
I'm not though.
But there's a
I'm
lot
very
of people
vocal.
who are silent in the sense that they're not daily active on different parts of social media, but they're paying attention to things.
Yeah, I'm a letter writer.
Yeah,
I'm a retweeter.
That'll do it.
But to that end, though, to Michelle's point,
Stand him at all.
I have a lot of people that have said to me, Richard, I don't really call. That's not really my thing. Talking about the show, I don't really call or anything. But I've been telling people, text me or send me an email or whatever. And it is kind of shocking. And the letters that I get, people are like, yeah, can you talk about this? Or this is something that's a concern of mine. I'm feeling this way about this. And so some of that's generational, candidly. And that's to the plus of what Michelle just said, is where I do think there will be some stemming of the tide. It isn't going away. Let's not fool ourselves.
Right.
It's not going to go away. And in fact, part of our responsibility is to continue to highlight that it's not going to go away.
Right.
And this is what, if you don't believe that, not you guys, but in general, folks listening, look at the tenor of Michelle Obama's speech. It went from, like we said before the show came on, it went from when they go low, we go high, to Michelle's taking off earrings and wiping her snotty nose, like, I'm going to come for you. And
I'm in a Vaseline.
Right. And so I think the power of social media and the power of our voices now, and again, this is going back to what Michelle said about being at Howard's homecoming. Unapologetically black is what is the big fear of your everyday, non-plugged in white person in America. It just is, y'all. And I think we have the right and responsibility to embrace being unapologetically black. Mm-hmm. And if people have a problem with it, then they need to go get some fix for that. And it's not us.
It's not my problem that they have a problem.
Michelle, this is one that you recently, and by the way, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
There's an anniversary.
1 year, my 1 year.
Her 1
here.
year.
It was like weeks ago.
It was a couple of weeks ago.
It was, but I didn't get to
Today
say
ain't her anniversary.
Okay, belated anniversary. I didn't say it on the air. So there.
You are I can't wait till after the show.
What you gonna do?
We can wrestle if you
Cuss him
want.
out.
What you gonna do? Hit him in the kneecap or something? But no,
It's not on me.
think about how many times. Think about how many times over the years that we've been doing this thing, that we've come to the conclusion. Not that we had to come to a conclusion, but we've said it on the air. We don't need to apologize. No other community. I shouldn't say no other community. Maybe the native, quote, American community in America apologizes for their existence. Even our Latino brothers and sisters, their neighborhoods are filled with what? Restaurants and businesses and this, that, and the other. And don't mess with that, because they'll get you, right? Fair statement? Our Jewish brothers and sisters, even our Muslim brothers and sisters. You go to their communities, any neighborhood in the city of Chicago, and you don't mess with that. But we have to apologize in our community for anything that we do that's successful and brilliant. And I think that, again, I'm repeating myself from past conversations, this younger generation of black men and women, that 35 to 50, they are not apologizing for a doggone thing.
Gotta love it.
And
Gotta love it.
that's so.
You want to take a call from Michael in Chicago?
Should we?
I think we should.
Let's take a call, shall we? What do you think?
Maybe so.
Michael, what's up, man?
Yeah, I like to talk about the early voting program because there's massive early voting going on right now all over this country. In Georgia, North Carolina, Minnesota, hundreds of thousands of people are voting. And many of them are Democrats, that's good, but beware, there's some Republicans voting also. Now, I'd like to mention about Chicago, how it's being done in Chicago. Right now, there are 52 sites. 52 where you can vote early. There are 50 more locations, and there are 2 downtown. And the 2 downtown are 191 North Park Street and 69 West Washington. And there's 50 Ward ones. Now, the important thing is that when you vote early in the city of Chicago, you can go to any one of the 52 locations. You don't have to go to the site that's right in your ward. It's not necessary. You can vote in one next door to you if it has better parking, or one that's 2 miles away or whatnot. They're all equal, the early voting sites. Now, I'd like to mention what's going to happen on November 5th. I would encourage people to vote early and get this thing done because nobody knows what's going to happen. There might be lawsuits or a hurricane in the southern states. I would encourage everybody to vote early to keep the momentum going. But on November 5th, there's still going to be a large number of people that are going to have to vote. And they should come out and vote. And there's 2 ways they can vote in. I'm talking about the city of Chicago now, in Chicago. Now, in the suburbs, it might be done differently. But in the city of Chicago, there's 2 ways to vote on November 5th. Number one, you can go to your precinct location, the little precinct thing that's 1 or 2 or 3 blocks from where you live. You can do it that way. But if you go early in the morning, and you see there's a line of 100 people at the precinct thing, you better consider going to the early voting site. It was open the day before, you know. It was open November 4th, or November 3rd, or November 2nd, but the early voting sites, the 50 of them, are still being open. They're going to be open on November 5th. So you have 2 ways to vote. But of course, I'd like to emphasize that there are many different locations to vote now, but you can only vote one time. You know, if you vote one time, vote second time.
Okay.
Now, the traditional Chicago people have been around for 2 generations. They know this. But I live in a neighborhood with a lot of people, a lot of immigrants. I'm friends, and I tutor their children and everything. And they're very nice people, but they don't know how the system works. And we tell them you vote one time, that's it, and then you just sit back, relax, and watch TV and see who won the election.
That's right.
So,
thank you for that information.
Come on out to early voting.
Thank you for that information, Mike.
Thank
We
you so
appreciate it, man.
much.
Thank you. So, by the way, if you visit our website, tfmradioshow.com, tfmradioshow.com, there's a pop-up there for you to plan your vote. You can plan your vote now. You can see what's on the ballot where you're going. You can see where you can vote. Just put in your zip code. Right on our website, tfmradioshow.com. Go check that out, man.
Good stuff there.
See, we try to do our part here. I'm tempted to put together a carpool thing for driving voters around. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. I've been trying to figure out what am I going to do that day after the show in terms
Y'all
of
can't get in my car though. Y'all can get in somebody else's car.
we can rent some vans.
I think that.
I'm not in no van.
I think that.
I did that years ago. I did that in 2004.
Here's the thing. He's had this conversation. We've had this conversation before, and I suggested that we get a van or something.
It wouldn't be we though. It'd be me.
And you said, "I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that.
Okay, you do
I'm
it.
not driving it."
You do it. I'll tell everybody you did it. Okay. See, now it's
I
different.
can do it. I would
You should
do
do it. Okay, y'all. Michelle's gonna have a van for you guys.
Who's
Go
getting
vote.
the van?
You.
I'm not getting the van.
See, nah, she's not gonna get it. Okay. See how
Give
that
me a
goes?
van and I'll do it.
The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
www.cdoconsulting.net. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up, this is crucial information you don't. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information or shoot us an email at polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, and Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITSASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
This is Miss Lady B from Dance Factory Radio. Welcome back to the Family Meeting.
No surprises in terms of their behavior anymore, in terms of what they say when they go on shows and get interviewed and all those other kind of places that they go. Yeah. So if people show their behinds the day of voting and afterward, we should not be surprised. We should be surprised that they don't, because they've already told us this is how they're going to be. So I like the fact that there's a lot of folks who are progressives, Democrats, liberals, whatever, that are saying, okay, come on. There's lots of people that are saying, I dare you, I wish you would. And the interesting thing about it is, a lot of them look like, most of them, not a lot, most of them look like us, that are saying, okay, y'all want to start some mess? Okay.
Well, that's what they're going to try to raise hell.
Right.
In Atlanta and Detroit and places where there are black people voting, that's where they're going to do it. And I think it's incumbent upon us to to defend that. But I really wouldn't be surprised if they either menace or actually kill or harm somebody on election day in an attempt to.
Because they're going to go. This is what how they're going to do it. In addition to at the polls, at the actual voting locations, they have data now, and this has been backed up and vetted out. They have data on where people are. So I wouldn't be surprised to see people leaving their homes getting accosted by or interrupted by these fools. That's the part that, is where I think some of the drama is going to happen. And I think it's irresponsible for us to not note that that's going to happen and not be surprised like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. No, there's going to be some garbage.
Well, and then November 5th becomes day one of that madness. So if they can't finish counting the votes on November 5th, and it's going to drag out, and there's going to be people menacing. They're going to be at the places where they're counting votes with weapons.
Greg Palast he was on a week and a half ago on my show, and he said December 11th and December 17th are the new dates now. They pushed it to the 6th, January 6th, but this time it's December 11th and 17th because they're going to go, just like Eric says, to these local areas and cause drama and be threatening people and so forth and so on. I think the big difference, though, as much as we know that that's going to be the case, I think the big difference, and somewhat of a civics lesson here for a lot of folks, is we have a lot more folks in place on state levels than we have had. And Eric has said this so much.
So do they, though?
They do, but not in terms of elected office. I'm talking about now in the battleground states particularly. We have 4 of the 6 battleground states where we have the trifecta, or at least the governor, AG, and Secretary of State. So that gives the persons there the authority to kind of do what they got to do and not have to be mealy-mouthed about it. And we have the White House, good for good or whatever, unlike last time. So I have been reading with some very good vetting that the administration is partnering with, behind the scenes, the AG and the National Guard in states where in the battleground.
So now you got to drag the military out. And so after you have been forced to drag the military out to deal with these people, and then when it's all over, then how do you deal with people you had to drag the military out for?
I know. And it doesn't change the fact that we still got to ask that question. How do we deal with it?
Look, I don't want to unite with you. I don't want to forgive and forget. I don't want to.
Yeah. There's cases where I'm looking at.
I don't think they do either.
All they have to do is just
go to hell.
Live
they can
their
go
lives
to hell, right?
And not bother anybody else, right? Once you found out that you have lost, let's step aside and just.
History has proven that they have never, ever done that.
There's not enough of them that have the capacity to acknowledge that they're not right. So it's not so much about losing, it's that they're not right in their belief system. They believe, many of the people that are part of MAGA and part of this culture of going back to the Tea Party, and we know even further back all of our lives, they think that they're right.
Right.
It's not about them losing an election. Before it was about losing an election and elections being fixed from the Democratic side, it was about this craft of white folks in America have never thought they were wrong about a damn thing. And we know this from our interactions with them professionally, personally, socially, with our children, our nieces, and they don't think that they're wrong. They're
convinced of it.
They
can't be changed. They can't change their mind.
Right. They're always right about every damn thing. I have some people that I had to set this dude straight because he tried to do some, off-color stuff. And I was like, look, man, you think because he had heard me on the show and he was trying to make this whole thing about where I sit politically and how it integrates and the intersection of that in business. And I was like, look, man, you don't know me like that. And you need to be very, very careful. And I had to what's the right way? I had to make sure my words were lining up correctly because I didn't want to say something that could come back to harm me. Why do black people, why do we always have to do that? Well, we do. And I was like, you don't know me like that. And if you come from me or any of my dotted lines, I'm not afraid to die. And he backed off. But see, that's the thing. Why should we have to do that at 2000, almost 2025?
Because that's the language that they speak.
I mean, talk about an exclamation point at the end of a sentence. I'm not afraid to die.
No, I'm not. I'm not afraid to die. I don't want to too soon. I want to be here for a minute and hang out with y'all and my wife and family. But
the mere fact, though, that we feel like we need to say that to get a thing to stop is troublesome to me.
as it should be, because if it weren't, then we would not be humane. That it's not, if it were not troublesome, and that's to match that up with what Eric has been saying for years, is that they've proven, this is not our anecdotal observation, they've proven that they don't want to show the capacity, if they have it, that they can stop and change. Right, E? They haven't given us anything to go, okay, he or she has seen the light, and they're willing to change course.
You got to change them.
And if other than fiscal and physical harm, they don't acquiesce to anything else. And it's proven, and it's not us.
And they're willing to use physical harm to get you. They're willing to use physical and fiscal harm to get you.
Right. So, we have to,
That's the language they speak. You can't come to them speaking different languages than they understand.
But see, here's the thing. This is the upside for me. I don't want to drag you guys into this. Part of the challenge that let's go back. Let's go way back and pull in Nat Turner. Nat Turner-esque today is their biggest fear. Is they know we're by and large a peaceful people. Just want to get along, want to love and care and cherish and be good to humanity. At the same time, they recognize that, let me back up from that. They're starting to recognize more and more that we have reached the I don't give a damn point. And if you don't believe me, just to change something as simple but as obvious as Michelle Obama, her body language, that was coming from the bottom of her stomach.
It's coming from the South Side.
It was coming from right down the way.
Right.
That said, listen, at this point, and that's what, I've said this 3 times a day and I apologize, but we don't have to apologize for that anymore, for that being, because we've carried this weight we're Atlas Shrugged times millions. Yeah.
And that's the language that they speak. They only understand that language.
And when we speak it back to them, they get a little diapery.
You want to see what Charles from Shorewood wants to talk about today?
We got to do the news in a second.
We got to do the news in a second. Hold on, Charles.
Yeah, hold on for Charles. Don't give him Charles yet, man. The kind of the question today for me is that, and I've been asking it for how long now?
Years. I know what you don't ask.
Yeah. Well, what do we do with these people after this matter is settled? If it settles, there's another January 6th pending. I think that they're going to aim themselves at the state capitals this time.
Yep.
We'll fortify the U.S. Capitol. They'll just aim themselves at the state capitals. They know better. They know better now.
That's to Greg Pallas's point about December 11th and 17th are the new days, and the state capitals and relative buildings of importance are the ones that they're going to try to target now, create this drama.
Yeah, can you see them standing outside of a window, outside of doors where they're counting votes and threatening to shoot the building up, getting up on the roof, throwing firebombs at the building? They'll do any of that stuff.
I mean, hell, look at during COVID when Governor Whitman was trying to do what? Save people's lives in Michigan. Save people's lives. What did they do? They showed up with, armed.
They want to kidnap her.
For people to make sure that people didn't get more sick, and that they could be healthy. They wanted to kidnap this woman and prevent state legislators from doing their job because people were they're so doggone selfish and so self-centered that they didn't recognize that by staying home for just a little bit of time.
Couldn't be inconvenienced.
Just for a little bit of time. It wasn't even an inconvenience when you think about it, Eric. That's the part
that's who we're talking about here, and those are the people that too many people expect us to try to live with, and I just don't see a way. Now I live on the south side, south suburbs of Chicago. I don't encounter them much, but when I do, I'm gonna hand out some knuckle sandwiches. Here, eat this. Yeah. Right? Don't roll up on me because you're mad because your man lost.
I would like to focus more on
hugging and kissing yourself. She want a hug. Yeah, can I get a hug?
I'll give you a hug. Yeah. Pull you closer to you so I can get this.
I want peace among the valley.
Good luck on that.
That's what I want.
So we might have to jump in and save Michelle
We
from
are
something.
the world
They're going to surround her.
I'll give you
We
a
are
hug.
the children.
Let me get between that fourth and fifth
See those
rib.
crazy light-skinned women over there singing songs, trying to hug everybody?
Y'all go get her.
Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya.
All right, y'all. Michelle's got news for you. The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Hi, this is Tommy Nelson. Visit me at A Custom Cabinet Design, Facebook.com. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Polaris is introducing a way in which you get empowering financial advice. Save and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis, directly from your account, and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
This is Miss Lady B, La Boricua. Now it's time for the family meeting news.
This is Michelle Peltier, and here's more of what we were following on the family meeting. An investigation by the Associated Press has revealed that the individual behind the Black Insurrectionist account on X, which has been spreading baseless conspiracy theories targeting Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. You're going to let me finish reading the... Okay. Ahead of the November election is actually Jason Palmer, a white man from upstate New York with a long history of fraud. The Black Insurrectionist account has a profile picture of a black army soldier, and the tagline reads, "I follow back true patriots." Before the account was deleted last week, it had over 300,000 followers, built for making shocking and disparaging allegations towards Harris and Walz. Some accusations were even endorsed by Republican candidates Trump and J.D. Vance. The Associated Press used public records to identify the owner of the Black Insurrectionist account, Jason Palmer, a white man from upstate New York. Interviews with people who knew Palmer revealed a history of fraud accusations involving business partners, struggles with addiction, and nearly $7 million in unpaid taxes. Sounds typical. It's on the right side of the argument as far as they're concerned. The Hallmark Channel, commonly known for its romantic comedy holiday movies. Wait a minute. Oh my God. Is facing some legal trouble. This week, Variety, reports that the media company is the subject of a new age discrimination lawsuit. The suit filed against the studio alleges that Hallmark Executive VP of Programming Lisa Hamilton Daly told staff that she did not want to cast old people because they did not fit her vision for the channel. Daly reportedly singled out stars like Holly Robinson Peete. Did you hear that, Eric?
No.
No one wants her because she's too expensive and getting too old.
What? Holly Robinson Peete?
This is what this woman said about Holly Robinson Peete, that she's getting too old, so she shouldn't be in Hallmark movies anymore. That's
crazy.
You know, but if you listen to the news when I start. Black men have been thrown in the middle of the debate on which voters like former President DT or Vice President Kamala Harris more. Despite the current narrative that Harris is falling short with black male voters, the polls show something different. A recent poll from Howard University's Initiative on Public Opinion took a survey of 981 black voters in the battleground states of Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. The survey showed 84% of respondents were willing to cast their ballot on Vice President Harris, while only 8% were willing to vote for Trump. Of all the respondents, the poll showed 41% identified as male. Please visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. You can subscribe and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, Spoutable. Also subscribe and follow us on our YouTube channel. Whenever Eric gets that right. Oh, why do you have the camera on me? All by myself. I just noticed that. I'm Michelle Peltier. We'll be right back. Take that camera off me.
Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive on WCBT Willow Springs is powered by ComEd. Visit ComEd.com/clean.
Hey, Family Meeting cousins. As you know, we've created a Patreon Family Meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the Family Meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
This is Rodney Harrington. Welcome back to the meeting.
So y'all gonna save me some of that peanut brittle there too?
Half a piece. Michelle and I gonna split one, and we'll save you the other half.
There was like nine pieces in there. Y'all ate the whole thing?
He didn't have any. You didn't have any.
He brought it here. He has some at home.
I don't have any at all.
Okay, then leave those last two for him. If he hasn't had any, that's
gluttons.
Wait, hold on a second. Who walked in the door with a bag of goodies? Then he said,
okay.
What did he say? This going to go right to my booty. Because he knows he's going to
It's a booty deposit.
That's right. Food for E and Michelle. That's right. Thanks to Ann, my wife.
There was like 9 pieces.
There were not 9 pieces in there.
Let me holler at my girl Anita in Nashville. Gave that to me?
Anita, thank you. We've been giving you a call, boo.
Yeah. Anita gave me that. And Anita, they jacked it up, man.
Yes, we did. That's a good sign to her. That's like that. What's the phrase? Best thing of compliment is an imitation or whatever. So if somebody eats the food you put out and it ain't none left, that's a good sign.
I haven't even let Tip try it yet.
Oh, damn. Then I'll give you both.
I will tell you, it's the best I've ever had.
So Michelle's going to have it in the store.
Yes.
That's right.
So they can be gluttonous in your store.
And I'll promote it on my show. Hey, man, listen, I got to tell you something. This is unsolicited. I went to this place on Friday night.
Hold this up so people can see it.
Yeah, y'all need to get after this. I went to this place on Stony Island to get some takeaway that my barber told me about. And I'm not going to joke. I had some of the best wings ever.
Really?
And
why you bring it?
Because this is what happened. So Ann and I sitting eating dinner on Friday night. She had brisket. I had the wings. And
you had wings. Did you have wings on your plate?
No, they were in my lap. And I wait.
Is there a knife and fork in the vicinity?
Not even close. Just to eat the greens. I had the fork to eat the greens. Here's the best part.
You eat them with your hands.
I could have poured them.
Eat the greens with his hands and wings were fork.
Can't even say
Make sure there's no knife marks on it.
Devin just back truck up over me. Even Devin's like, let me get in on this. Devin's like, I ain't gonna let you slide. Listen, y'all. No, I said to Ann after we had finished, I said, I missed an opportunity. She said, what do you mean? I said, I should have had you take a picture and sit at Eric and Michelle. But they were phenomenal.
So for those who don't realize what we're talking about here, Michelle and I had a chance to witness Richard
It's a beautiful thing.
eating chicken wings with a knife and a fork.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing.
Chicken wings, multiple, with a knife and a fork.
That's because we were in shock, so we had to watch it.
I think we both looked at him, looked at each other like, is he?
No. This is wait. This is look on you guys' face. The look on their faces was like, are we in a time warp? Like Twilight Zone? This dude from another planet. This is the brother from another planet. That's him.
And I had to say something like, man, listen, man, what are you doing?
We will die.
We all be in our late 70s, 80s going, yo man, Rich.
I was thinking you still had the Captain Hook thing going on. You just couldn't eat with your hands. Like,
No, you didn't say that.
You know, he said he was thinking it. I was working that knife and fork though.
I was thinking he still had the Captain Hook thing.
It was hilarious. I even have to laugh at myself on that. But that is some of the best brittle that I've ever had. It's excellent.
I'm sure Anita is happy to hear that.
Yes.
You want to talk to Charles now in Shorewood?
You're the boss of the phone, so
Let's
yeah.
get Charles.
Okay. Charles, it's on you, man. What's up?
Yeah, you were talking about how we deal with these people after November 5th and moving forward.
Well, don't take a
I
microphone
think
with
the
you.
thing
that'd
going
That'd be
to
nasty.
He's not speaking, so I don't know if he's there or not.
bring us a blue tsunami and
So let's just keep
pull them
chatting,
all
shall we?
away.
Because Devin would say something if he was there.
Shan't we?
Just so you know, Devin's managing the phones back in the studio, so we don't see what's going on there.
Tiffany wants to know.
So Kamala's going.
Uh-oh, there he is.
There he is.
Kamala's going to bring all of the Democrats in up and down the ballot. I think. Because just let's face it, Republicans are the worst. Right.
Yeah.
Right now, what we might actually have the ability to do if we can, have both houses and the presidency, is we can finally, create a. Because let's face it, Republicans, they've been brainwashed. Our corporate media basically has been feeding them, garbage for years, and that's all they know. So what we have to do is maybe put in place a law that says, hey, if it's news, it has to be actually true.
Well, you would think.
Because
How do you do that, though?
well, you have the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and news, technically, because it is consumed in a way, is something that is a common public good. So why not then just say, hey, we are going to be regulating this, that if you call yourself news, you have to follow these rules. And if you don't follow these rules, you cannot call yourself news. They can have their talk radio, they can have their echo chambers, but leave the news alone.
So what do you do with opinion television and radio then?
Opinion television and radio cannot be on news channels. It's just that simple.
It feels complicated, though. It feels a little messy and complicated. I don't know that we can accomplish that with the craftiness of the people who've decided that they don't want to tell the truth.
Yeah. Well, that's where you can give them the fairness doctrine, so that hey, you can come on if you're going to spout this, but we're going to have the same amount of time to tell what's really going on, set the record straight, and that there will not be anyone from the network tipping the scales. No host pushing an agenda.
Yeah, I have to noodle that one around a little bit because I like the idea. I just don't know how you accomplish it.
Hey, if the law is written, Lena Khan will get it done.
I mean, look at what Fox News did. Fox News was willing to continue to lie. They were willing to pay $750 million so that they can continue to lie. So, how then do you enforce this news rule if someone decides, I'll just pay the fine and say what the hell I want to say?
Because then you can go, okay, if you're insisting on saying that you are a news channel, then we go after you as a corporate action and take away that operation from you, and it gets sold off.
Okay.
Fox News, they do make a lot of money. You can strip it off of News Corp, and the same thing you can do with Wall Street Journal or whomever, or Washington Post. Mm-hmm. If they're screwing around, hey, we're stripping it off the parent company because you've been playing fast and loose with actual news, and you've been manipulating people.
See, I'm with you. I'd have to noodle that around, though. I mean, you guys see where I'm?
Yeah, I do.
You're exactly right. I agree with you 100%. I just think it's really hard to implement that. But big brains bigger than ours can probably figure something like that out, right? Yeah. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for that input, though. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Charles.
All right, thank you.
You bet, man.
I think the further kind of where he is on that, you're right. It's complicated, it's messy, and all the rest of the words we could come up with.
Yeah.
And it also there has to be some retribution that sticks. Mm-hmm. Because if you break apart with the amount of money that's in the marketplace today, somebody's just going to roll in and say, well, we'll snatch that up and give it some time, and we'll do it all over again. And we'll set aside the money to pay the fine we know is coming because we're going to make that much more money in ad revenue.
Right. And then, so how do you ride the line between opinion and news? How do you segregate that? Because at the end of the day,
it used to be segregated. It used to be news was just news.
Listen, guys, people
did it though. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you can say certain things certain ways, and you can have a bend on it.
The seminal moment, guys.
So if I said to you, man, that girl Michelle, or if I said, man, that girl Michelle.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The inflection,
yes.
and the position of the words inside of the statement. But the inflection point that
every question is a statement too, by the way.
Yeah. Good point.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. The inflection point with this, in terms of the fairness doctrine and all the rest, goes back to Reagan. People don't realize, and just do some research, y'all, on how Rupert.
I hate when people say that. Do your research. That's what them imbeciles do. I agree with you. They should do the research.
They should do the research,
but they're not doing research.
They're not doing research.
Right.
For those who want to test the litmus test me on this, just look up Rupert Murdoch's ascent by going to the point in which Ronald Reagan cut him some slack to become a U.S. citizen. And you will find the origination points of how he became a citizen and what that's led us to now. For all those who want to say St. Ronald was a punk. Even his son says it. And on a lot of levels. And in this conversation around communication and around fairness doctrine and all the rest, you can say what you want to about
Ronald Reagan, you mean?
Ronald Reagan.
Well, he's a criminal too, by the way.
He's a criminal, by the way. Yeah. And with the Iran-Contra situation.
Right.
But that, to me, is where we have to go back to origination and say, where did this start? Because I do believe prior to, we had a journalistic environment.
Prior to what?
Reagan's involvement with Rupert Murdoch. We had a journalistic environment. Because if we talk about the brainwashing that Charles, I think it was, said, we can look at how many people are just so locked into Fox. And did you guys see about this one older gentleman who's lost like $300,000 of his retirement account because he believed what Fox was saying about Trump, and that when
he was giving money to the campaigns and didn't realize it.
Right, and he
emptied out his account,
suffering from dementia, but he believed what he had heard about Trump through Fox. And I made a note when Charles was talking. We need one of the places we can start real quickly is getting rid of Fox on military bases.
Oh, please.
I mean,
there was decades ago.
Right, but that's part of it. So systemically, we have a problem.
But I think we put a lot of weight on these media outlets when I think the reality is the people who listen, they're telling them what they want to believe.
They've already been thinking it and feeling it.
Yeah,
this just kind of takes the lid off.
Just kind of validates it for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me May I say something?
No.
Sorry.
No.
Don't ask. Just dump in.
Shut up.
You cannot talk.
So
peanut brittle gobbler.
I thought about. So when we talk about media and journalistic integrity and all of that kind of stuff, and I talked about this before, the media used to be fact-based, but the problem that occurred is what happened when, to illustrate my point, is what happened when Kamala and DT had their debate. And everybody was getting mad because they were saying they're only fact-checking him. They're only fact-checking him. Well, the point was he had to be fact-checked because he was lying. They didn't fact-check Kamala because she wasn't. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure. There's a difference between making errors and lying.
Right. And so that's why we have Fox, because people started saying the media is left-leaning.
Mm-hmm.
The media was left-leaning, but that's what the country was.
And centered in factual information that you can
right,
validate and verify.
Right. That's what I mean.
But I don't know that I agree that the media used to be fair.
It was fairer than it is now.
Well, I
you
mean,
didn't have
watch
everybody
this.
taking
And this, if you're going to include all the media, how many black people did you see on the damn Flintstones?
one.
Right. Without a doubt, E. There's no question about.
Or the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Or any TV show for that matter. There were no black people in the West and all the cowboy movies.
And the ones that were in were representative of who we were not.
I don't understand
So-
what that has to do with the news.
No, he said, but he did say his caveat was, if we're going to say media, let's include all. So all forms of communication.
Is that what you mean?
I'm not putting words in his mouth.
Even on the news, how many times did you see them interviewing black people? Walter Cronkite, look it up. He didn't interview many black people at all. And he's supposed to be the most trusted guy in America.
But that doesn't mean that what he was reporting on wasn't factual. We just
But
weren't a part of the
you,
discussion.
if you exclude 15% of the population of whom being put up on, then that's not factual.
Well, it's not certainly inclusive of the facts that community lives in,
Right.
without a doubt. I agree with that part. I will say, though, that, again,
He wasn't trying to mislead people, though. I agree with you.
Right. Thank you. That's what I was going to say. To our knowledge, he wasn't trying to mislead people. He may not have had an all-inclusive approach, which was some of it just the fact that we were, still this society that was just coming out of the civil rights movement at its height. So we still had a lot of white journalists and reporters.
It begs the question: is it factual if it doesn't include everybody?
Well, then we could.
Depends on what you're talking about.
I think the subject matter dictates that.
Well, just the news in general. The news in general did not include the plights of black people.
Well, but see, here's the problem too. To Eric's point, what it did include was hyperbolic, yellow journalism about our community, and that in and of itself was telling a lie.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like every time, and it hasn't changed. Let's think about this. Here's the one thing that no other community can speak to in America when it comes to journalism or media coverage. The top of the line story, the highlight, 6 o'clock news, the 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock news, whatever story. There's one thing that has not changed, and somebody call here or call my show, whatever, to prove me wrong. And that is that we're still the only community where the headline story is a negative story about our community. You could take the Muslim community, the non-black, the non-African American black community that's Muslim. That's why I had to separate that. The Jewish community, the Catholic community, the Protestant community, and the list goes on and on. Headline stories start with something positive, or certainly not negative or neutral. But with our community, 9 times out of 10, and y'all know I'm telling the truth, it's something that starts off with a negative story about us. That's been going on since I was a little boy. It's still happening today.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's burned
I don't
into your
disagree
brain.
with that. I don't disagree with
I mean, here's a good example.
So then is the news factual if it's excluding people or misleading people on the reality of somebody on the news?
That's where I agree with you that it's not so much even factual.
I was going to say the language, factual. I mean, if they're not including us, there are no facts or they're nothing.
Okay, so when Walter Cronkite started broadcasting in the early 50s, I read a statistic once. He never, ever reported on a lynching. And they were lynching people at 2 a week in the early 50s. Not one. That's horrible when somebody's being lynched and somehow or another he's excluding it from the news. Is he being factual?
Well, let's take for an example. This is what a lot of people didn't know until recently. We, of course, knew it. The moment that Fannie Lou Hamer got the mic and the cameras and was speaking to
tired of being sick and tired,
the injustice of our community, and Lyndon Johnson, our Democratic quote unquote save civil rights president,
called a
press conference
just so she couldn't be heard.
So y'all think we're crazy? Just look it up. Do some research.
It's the same exercise that we're going through now, which is an attempt to make sure that some of the news is not told.
Right.
Some of the stories not told.
That's right.
Which makes it non-factual to my way of thinking.
Certainly not relevant.
It's nothing, right? Because if you're not talking about it, it's not factual or not factual. It's nothing.
Okay, we can go that way. Number 7737. You got callers waiting?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Earl and Rose.
We'll get them when we come back. The number is 7737639278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
I'm Zena Smith, the owner of Masters Plus Tutoring Program, and the family meeting will be right back.
Tell me, baby.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up, this is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris in this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information or shoot us an email at polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Hi, this is Michelle from the Family Meeting, and let me tell you about the Villager Gift Boutique located at 2007 Ridge Road in downtown Homewood, Illinois. The Villager is your gift shop for unique, hand-selected, high-quality gifts. The Villager's owner, Valerie, travels internationally to trade shows and fine art festivals to bring a variety of unique, high-quality items, including fine gifts, bath and body products, candles, jewelry, clothing, home accents, leather goods, stationery, gourmet goodies, and so much more. The customer experience is very inviting and ideal for helping you find the perfect gift, especially for those shoppers who are looking for that unique gift for those who are hard to shop for. Oh, and the gift wrapping is complimentary. Shop in person in Homewood, Illinois, or online at thevillagergiftshop.com. That's thevillagergiftshop.com.
Hey, this is Brittany Perry. Did you know there's a Black-owned footwear brand based here in Chicago? Perry Co. Shoes creates affordable luxury footwear and accessories for both men and women. Whether you're in a suit or out with friends, they provide pieces you can wear on a daily basis. Breaking barriers, inspiring style. Visit www.perrycoshoes.com to purchase a pair today. That's www.perrycoshoes.com.
This is Sue Myers, founder of Indivisible South Suburban Chicago. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Hey, everybody. Let's get really important stuff out of the way first. I mean, like, then we can talk about this heady stuff that's frivolous on the second part of this thing here. Let's find out where this chicken place is.
Nope, not gonna tell you.
Put some chicken wings down, and I don't even know where to go get them.
Well, okay.
Did you tell us where the place is or no? Did you
I
tell
didn't. It's at 8324 South Stony Island.
What's the name of it? You know?
Medley.
Right now, we got to go over there and get some money for him because he just gave a plug.
That's right. We will at some point. But for now,
go get that money for us.
After the show closes down, let's go open up the joint, demand that the owner give you some money for a plug on this show.
Well, sometimes a plug like that is a good thing to do.
Right.
So what's up, Earl?
All right. No, seriously. I mean, Richard. I'm sorry. The two of you are kind of. Got me kind of agreeing with Eric. You know I don't like to do that.
Sure you do. You just don't like to admit
damn
it.
curmudgeon.
You just
like such a damn curmudgeon, man.
Sure you do. You just don't like to admit it.
Look at here, man. It's what you gonna do? You gonna go get all the Samoanians, or you gonna get all the Chinese, or everybody, every nationality, every ethnic group, go over to Africa and pull all those people. You cannot get everybody to have input on a subject because then you don't have enough time to discuss the subject. And who's going to decide who's going to speak for black people? I sure as hell don't want Judge Thomas talking to him, Clarence Thomas.
Well, he
See, that's a whole other debate. He's going to be the one that's speaking for black folk. So, Richard, I understand and appreciate your concerns about how that might work, even though in principle I agree with you. Yeah, man. I meant to say I agree with Eric in principle. Boy, I must be some good.
It's okay.
Crack does that, you know.
It's okay.
Crack does that, you know.
So does glue.
But no, seriously, it's a great idea, but you're never going to satisfy everybody. You're always going to have a debate who speaks for who, and who gets how much time, and yada yada. So
you're such a ray of sunshine. Just a ray of sunshine Earl is today, isn't he?
He's being Earl.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Old Earl, here he come again.
Curmudgeon.
Just a ray of sunshine.
Well, I try to be consistent. But okay. But no, seriously though, it's really a complicated thing, and the truth is so subjective sometimes. Now it's not like 1 + 1 = 2. Apple falls from the tree, it's going to hit the ground because of gravity. It's not necessarily that. When you start getting into talking about points of view, then you start getting into a dicey situation because now you start slightly interjecting, your way of thinking or not your way of thinking. In the process of coloring the topic. So, but no, I was going to find out where those chicken wings are so I can go and beat down the dope and try to get you guys some money. But, some of these subject matters are very complicated. And to work out the minutiae, you're not going to ever satisfy everybody.
Okay, well, I think Bobby Longstreet will get the curmudgeon button.
Okay, well, let's talk to Rose in Chicago.
No, let's talk to Doug. Let's talk to Doug.
Oh, come on. Rose called first.
Okay, let's talk to Rose first then, Bobby. Let's talk to Rose
first. Because he disagrees with me.
That's all right. We got
That
you.
is just evil.
No, let's talk to Doug.
Let's have somebody yell at Michelle.
Right.
Rose.
I think we're disconnected from the station. That's what happens.
No.
Yeah. Let's not disconnect it.
We hear you if you can hear us.
Sound goes out. We'll wait for Rose for a second.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Eric, can you hear me at all?
Alex. Watch Trebek.
Listen, man, let me tell you something.
What?
I just thought about this. So it's 5:30 now, and we still haven't got a good answer, to my way of thinking, to how we're going to live with these people.
Okay.
I've been asking the same damn question for several years.
Well, maybe the response is we don't have to live with these people. Maybe that's the response. We're trying to figure out how we're going to pretzel ourselves into living with these folks, when in fact maybe that's the wrong approach. The approach is we don't have to live with them. We have to we can tolerate them.
How do we do that?
Let's,
how do we tolerate them?
Let's flip it. How do they learn to live
with us? Yeah, that's why. And so
I'm not really concerned about that, though. I mean, I hear you, but I'm not. Are you concerned about that? I'm really concerned about you, an imbecile. How are you going to live with me?
Well, if you.
But why are you concerned though? That's why I'm going back to
She
this.
said that.
I was trying to flip the question around.
How are they going to live with us?
You're saying, how are we going to live with them? Why don't we think about, they are the ones that need to be concerned with how they're going to navigate their way.
And maybe that's what we've been stuck on, why we don't have, because the reality is let's be honest, we have the answer already. We have been living with them. We have been all of our lives. All of my years, I've been living with them. So that's part of the whole thing around.
Yeah, but dude, it's different though, because of what I said earlier. They used to just be unfair. Now they're violent.
You want to tell somebody in the 60s, late 50s and 60s that they were just unfair when they were being hung?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm talking about the transition from the 60s during Jim Crow to this period in between.
Fair enough.
Where it became unfashionable to be that way.
And I think that that's what's going to happen again. Right?
Yeah.
It's not cool. Now maybe shame can be attached to it.
Because social media will have its place there. Yeah. So I think, Eric, we have to ask this question. Now, I know where you are because you have been asking this for a long time. I think the question has to be not even a question. It needs to be a statement. We're done trying to live with you. Y'all gonna have to learn how to live with us because we ain't going anywhere.
Or else what?
Or else you're gonna suffer the pain of not living with us in an efficient way.
How's that look?
It looks like
I know how it looks for me.
Yeah, it looks like the Birmingham boat incident.
Which was amazing.
You're gonna get a knuckle sandwich.
That's what it's gonna look like.
Oh, I love it.
That's what's gonna look like. I do believe at this point that, because see, we can't rely on any of the other communities that are of color or of culture similar to ours to be in our corner. Mm-hmm. There was the right MAGA, racist, nationalistic, sexist part of this country has done a good job of creating some separation between black folks and the Jewish community, black folks and the Hispanic community, black folks and Asian community. We were connected for a long time. We had a relationship that was.
Did we?
I didn't say it was perfect. I said it was better. Then we had a relationship where they knew. And let's
stay with the Asian community?
Hold on, stay with me. I know they're the same people that said change our denotation because we won't want to be perceived as not white.
Or let's go into your community and then poach all the money out of your community.
I'm supported by white folks who were they were sending the messengers in to do that. We know how that all baked itself out. White folks put money behind. White bankers put money behind every other culture than ours to come into our community to take our resources out. That's a fact. So, but that being said, there was a feeling, and somewhat realistic, that was part of the civil rights movement at its height, that was pulling folks together, even the certain rural, lower income white folks. I've been of this mindset for years. Bobby, Malcolm, Medgar, and Dr. King were in part assassinated because of their pulling together in the process of the poor people's movement.
I don't know if I agree with you on that, but go ahead.
That's why I said not in its entirety. But at its core, there was something similar at each of those scenarios. And that is they were trying to galvanize black folks and what could they do to connect with other people. Over the years, because of how effective we've been, we're the only community that isn't a community that is self-determining or self-supportive. But as we're ascending in that direction or moving in that direction more and more, that's why I'm saying we have to say, y'all got to live with us. We don't have to live with you. And what does that look like? It does look like us saying, no, we're not, I'm tired of selling, I'm not going to take it anymore. I think that's there's an undercurrent that a lot of people have not paid attention to in that space. I mean, why would they be pushing back so hard on suppressing the vote, redirecting the vote
in specific communities?
All these things that are happening, that's not happening in the Jewish community. That's not happening and frankly, look, they're not trying to suppress the vote of the non-African American Muslim vote. They're going after. They're not suppressing the folks in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights. They're not.
Highland Park, Deerfield.
They're not suppressing the vote in parts of San Francisco. They're not in Seattle.
Yeah.
They're not suppressing the vote.
They're doing it in Oakland, though. You're right.
Right, but that's different than San Francisco.
Right.
They're not trying to suppress the vote in rural Texas. They're suppressing. If you could go to any community, and I got much love and respect for our Hispanic, Latino, Mexican brothers and sisters. They're really not trying to suppress. There are cases of suppression, but in terms of putting the government's force behind it on a local level, and I know that they've got the raids down in Texas. I'm not blind to that, but they're not going into specific communities of color and trying to suppress the vote with the specific and surgical precision that they are in our community.
It's true.
That's a fact, guys. And so more people are starting to say, wait a minute, we're the only community that with the breadth of our government systems they're trying to suppress the vote, suppress our ability to live, our ability to prosper and to move forward. So black folks are saying now, we're done. And that scares the hell out of every other community, because we are the only community that has had the suppression of things be the label, the headstone of our community. I mean, let's just be honest. This is the part of
theft. It's theft, straight up theft.
Part of the problem, I think, and I could be wrong here, but part of the challenge, maybe a better word, is that every time we're awakened, reawakened, become woke, whatever the wording is, there's always that subversive element that's picking at the parts of our community that's galvanizing to say, no, not again. Doggone it, not again. And all you got to do is just look at recent times. Look right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so,
are we taking calls?
Rose.
We're taking Rose.
Rose,
you there,
from
Bobby?
Chicago.
Hey, Rose.
Hi. I'm still here.
Let's go. Hi, Rose.
Hey, sorry to change the subject.
No problem.
Hi. I'm sorry to change the subject, but what I called about is talking about all the people that you see at the Trump rallies, the scary looking crowds. I just want to say that children that were dragged there by their parents, the ones that look like grade school age, junior high age. I kind of predict that those kids, if they're learning how to call and bully, if they're kind of being groomed like the next that are going to probably motivate the future school shooters, which really scares me. I mean, they're just being taught that all the time, being dragged to these rallies. It's kind of frightening to me.
Case in point to Rose, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. That's the picture that came out last year of him at 14, going to essentially a rally. Look where he is now. And so that's just an example, one example of younger white men being taken to rallies and such, where there's hatred for all other people than straight white men.
And they go there because their thoughts that they already have are being validated.
And where those thoughts come from.
Yeah, this isn't all on Trump or any of his sycophants. These are people who are gathering because somebody's finally saying what they've already believed.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks,
true.
Thanks, Rose.
Thank you, Rose.
Thanks, Rose.
Okay. Doug.
Okay. Let's go with Doug, man, so he can pick on Michelle.
Doug, are you still there? Doug.
Calling on Doug.
I'm sorry, is this me? Is it Doug?
Yep,
it's Doug. Are you Doug?
This is Ben.
This is Ben.
Oh.
Okay. Bobby Longstroke he's filming a porno in the studio, so he wasn't quite paying attention.
He couldn't keep the camera up.
Hey. First, I want to say I'm glad you guys couldn't hear me laughing, and I want to give a little preference to this by saying I don't condone violence in any way, but when you ask what does that look like to live with the MAGAs, and Richard said the Birmingham voting incident, he put a period on it. That's what I was thinking. So the reason I called, Michelle, I love you, and I've got to disagree with you a little bit. I'm going back a little bit in your conversation here, guys, because you were talking about the media being fair, back in the day. And Michelle, I can understand why you think that, but the fact that you do shows that they did their job really well, because it was their overt racism had to be covered.
No, I don't think I said fair. I think I said they spoke facts, didn't I? I didn't say fair.
Well, I don't even know about that.
You did say, but I think I'm being in the audience, I'm kind of looking at it from kind of a racism aspect as well, because they were never fair to us back then. In fact, I always use this example. Up until about the 80s or so, I paid real close attention to this stuff. I actually used to work in the media. I used to be a reporter. Mm-hmm. But one thing that really bothered me was when they would say, if there were two youth who robbed let's say a 7-Eleven, mm-hmm. they would say, if there were two black youths, they would say two black youths, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And if there were two white youths, they would say two youths.
Or two suspects.
And it happened over and over and over again.
Yeah, they still do that. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, go ahead. Did we lose him?
Oh, no.
No, that's the connection with the station goes in and out like that. He was getting to the good part, too.
He was. Ben
was bringing it home.
Yeah, he was.
But he makes a good point.
He does.
I mean, we all know that. And I think the lives that we've lived have shown. He's back.
There he is. Ben?
Hey, Ben.
Still there, Ben?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just one more point. Okay. Is that I had a coworker one time, and she actually came up to me. She likes me. And she came up to me, and she told me that she grew up in an area that had no blacks, and all she saw was what was portrayed on the news. And she told me flat out that she used to be scared of black people. And then she met me. But she said everything that she saw was based on what she knew was based on what she saw in the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that are still that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. That's why I don't get in the elevator with white women. Ben, thank you so much, man. We appreciate the contribution.
Okay.
Thank you, Ben.
Guys, last thing.
Oh, sure.
Last thing, Michelle, everything that you say you want to get him for after the show, you go for it.
Thank you,
You
Ben.
should stay out of this, Ben. You should just stay out of grown folk business,
Thank
man.
you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Have a great day, guys.
All right.
Have a good
man.
week.
Ben, all up in grown folk business, man. This is grown folk business up in here.
Eric, Ben over here picking sides.
Hey, man.
Let me just say, though, he's right. I agree with him. If I said fair, I didn't mean fair. I meant they were speaking factual, and we were left out, like you said. So I agree with Ben.
There you go.
We weren't part of it.
Wow. Ben's gonna have a good evening. I made him laugh, and Michelle agrees with him. Damn, Ben can just shut
Great
it
way to
down
start
now.
the week.
Go get some wings and eat them with your fingers.
Yeah. Okay, last break, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Hi, I'm Vicki Miller Walken. Keep listening to the family meeting.
A 2016 study estimated that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft last year. Fight back against your identity being stolen.
This plan allows employees to access their savings via hardship withdrawals or loans. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com or call us about your business or organization's retirement plan at 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris provides empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
Polaris is introducing a way for you to get empowering financial advice, save, and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA, SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
Hi, this is Valerie Sanitas, and I am on the second floor of the Women's March, Illinois. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Yeah, man. So we got to listen to this one for a second, man.
Let that Hammond P3 organ hit it one more time.
Huh?
Let that Hammond P3 come on in.
See how you nerded out on some of the instruments here?
Yeah.
The band nerd.
I love it, though.
Here's the band nerd. Watch this.
Man, it's the music. This is the instruments. Play it louder.
No, I want to play the trombone.
Got any snare drums back there, man? I really like the snare drums.
You are awful. Awful.
See, the best part of Eric's teasing me is that I have not once defied it. I just roll with it because it's the damn truth. I mean, seriously, Eric will tell you. Eric's been teaching me about moving the napkins on the. We went very first time we went to lunch.
Don't go to lunch with Rich, y'all.
Michelle, the very first time he and I went to lunch was at Wishbone. And he
was tidying up the table the whole time, man.
I can't talk about.
And Miss Thang over here got to have her napkins under all the drinks.
Hey,
you can't even relax and eat with y'all.
And the best part about it is, when we've gotten together and Ann's been in the mix, she's been like looking at Eric. They looking at me like, how we put up with this boy? You married to him, and I'm his cousin. How we put up with him?
I told Ann she should get him a helmet.
Oh, stop.
See, that's
for his own safety.
But that's the thing, Michelle. I'm not that dude there. I'm not I'm not that guy at all in terms of clumsiness and all.
Just horrible.
It's not me. I'm Mr. Tidy
Take
Man.
a blow to the head or something. We don't want that now, do we?
Let me just say this.
What?
For Eric to talk about nerds, he surrounds himself with them.
Isn't that the truth?
Okay.
So
what do you mean?
Him, Adrian. You talk about Adrian being a nerd all the time.
That's just bad luck. That's all that is.
These are two people that are very close to you.
That's just bad luck.
You attract who you are, not who you want to be.
There you go. Thank you very much.
You should have seen Michelle wiping her mouth when she saw some of the brothers at homecoming, man.
Hey, listen.
She had to wipe her mouth.
Okay, look.
Look here. See? Look at her.
I cannot.
She getting a little misty now. Look at her. Getting the vapors.
I cannot lie about it. I am old, but I'm not dead. And I can still see.
Listen.
And I saw some of the finest young men.
Listen, I love my wife to death. And never, ever will there be any other. But I can tell you, when we were on the campus at Howard and she saw some of the brothers.
Here we go.
Wait, no. When she saw, she was like, damn.
Right? And nice too.
And nice. And the sisters are the same way. So it's
can I just say this?
unapologetically black and wonderful.
The coach was my favorite.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it. So I introduced her to my man.
Mr. Dimples.
Wait,
oh my God!
Did she trip into him, Eric?
I had to get through a slew of women to get to him. I couldn't get it because there were two women, Eric's friends,
but did
who
you
were
trip?
in front of me, and I couldn't get him.
Did you trip? But did you trip into him?
No, I couldn't. There was a barrier.
This was so I introduced her to.
Oh my goodness.
David Oliver.
Yeah.
David, gold medalist, Olympian.
It's just wrong to look that good.
Them girls, man, they lost their damn mind. As soon as we walked away from David, they started Googling him and trying to look him up, and it's like,
Wait, and the two women that we talked about him for like 2 blocks. Walking to the bar, we just couldn't. He was beautiful. Whew, I could not.
Look at her getting the vapors over
I
there.
am. I'm getting a little warm.
It's just nasty. That's what it is. It's just nasty.
It's natural. It's natural.
So that's why I have chronic kidney bone-itis.
I'm just keeping my mouth shut. I'm laughing with y'all. Give me some wings.
Look, I'm telling you, it's just nothing like a nice, put together black man.
Well, let's move on. Should we move on from this? I'm just feeling some kind of way. She give you the Eartha. She gave you the Eartha kit.
Boomerang with the kid.
No, not that one. It's not dark enough.
So for those of you who don't know, go watch the movie Boomerang, and you'll understand the last 3 minutes of this conversation.
So when you guys never saw the band do what they do after the game, because I think you and Ann had to catch a flight.
No, I've seen it twice.
You had to leave one time, didn't you?
That was the next day, but no, we
when they do the tunnel at the end.
So let me say this to you. I don't know if you know this, but I didn't know this.
What?
So one thing that I just really loved is the way that they treat and embrace their alumni. I guess the alumni.
We treat and embrace each other.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So what I didn't know is that once you're on the band, once you're a cheerleader, you're always that. So during halftime,
all
the alumni came out to do the band, to do the cheers. I just could not get enough of it.
Howard University is a special place, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
It just is.
So so this year, after we watched the band, because Michelle's smaller than everybody else.
I am not either.
Kneecaps.
We had to position her so she could see. So she kind of got away from us. And then so when the band was done, she comes back and she's all snotty and stuff, man.
I cried the whole time.
This is the band, they're grooving and you snotty?
I was crying. There were tears of joy.
Well, Michelle, listen,
difference.
the first time I went to Howard Homecoming and I was on the yard and the celebration and all, there was a moment where it was overwhelming. I'm not going to lie. I know how tough I am, but I'm not going to lie about that. You
didn't get snotty, though, did you?
I didn't get snotty, but it was overwhelming. I was like, this is us. This is who we, And so that part I totally get. And I think this is one of those, I know I'm making the segue intentionally, this is one of those things that we should not have to apologize for.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it is all about our greatness.
Yes.
And that's what's exhibited at all the HBCUs, but particularly at Howard University.
It's only at Howard.
It was crazy.
Different levels. Different levels.
It's only at Howard.
Right.
All them Bamas. By the way, Tennessee State had a bunch of Bamas up at this game, boy. Everybody dropped their consonants and everything they said.
And their band didn't come.
No, they didn't bring their band.
What was the point? What was the point?
The band, they didn't fundraise for them to come.
What was the point of anybody coming?
That's actually, I think it has something to do with the dysfunction in the state.
Tell
Tennessee's.
Eric, tell the story about the Harvard game, the one time with Harvard.
Oh. You'd like this, Michelle. If we play Harvard next year, I should take you with us to Boston. So we had they set up a tent for our tailgate before the game. So apparently Harvard's tailgate is, you know how white folks do, kegs of beer. Yeah, dude, they do that kind of stuff. We had a DJ.
Oh, of course.
And the folks was grooving. and folks are standing outside their tent with their head up. Like what are those animals that run around? Not chipmunks, but muskrats.
Muskrats, yeah.
They stood up and looking around like, yo, that's the place to be.
Have y'all seen the video of this guy? It's those pontoon boats.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
You've seen the one where I think I sent it to you guys, where there's a black boat and they're just getting it, and then there's another boat with all white folks with this one white dude. He's standing up looking like, damn, how can I get over there? I want to be over there. How can I, if I can get over, and you could see in the back of his mind, he's thinking, because there's some sisters over there, and I work with some black women, and they probably would welcome me. You can see he had that
and we would.
And we would.
Absolutely. We did the same thing at Northwestern last year, where the black alumni had their little raggedy tent. They came over to our stuff because we had our DJ. We flew our DJ in from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we do.
Their president came over to the Howard tent. Northwestern's president came over. Like, yo, I'm hanging out with y'all today, man.
Speaking of how we do, one of the greatest, best speeches recently that's been given by anybody was Megatron up in Detroit. Did you see that? He spoke at before Vice President Harris.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. He spoke.
He's a former wide receiver with that.
Yeah, that played for the Lions, and he brought it. He basically said
he's a smart dude.
I thought you were
he's a smart
talking about
dude.
the
Smart and well educated. No,
I thought that for a minute too, but then he said Detroit, and I was like, oh, okay.
What's it? Why am I drawing a blank on his name?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but
big fella.
Yeah, so he spoke, and people were like,
Calvin Johnson.
Thank you.
Johnson, yeah.
Leave it to Devin to know
Devin.
everything about football.
Yeah,
but to that point about unapologetically speaking their truth. He did that, and it was cool. It was just something else to watch,
It's a new day, I tell you that.
It is.
Is it though?
I do. I think so. Maybe not for them, but I think it is for us.
Yeah. See, they're stuck in that old ism.
Yeah.
And I think that's what frightens them. Again, I've said it many times. They're frightened of the fact that we are at that don't give a damn point. Way different than in the past.
Yeah, if they're frightened though, it changes how they approach us.
I know.
Right? They're going to try to sneak up on us. They can't just come fully from the front.
Birmingham boat incident.
Catch these hands, man. You catch these hands.
I don't think people were sorry, y'all.
So we're going to have to struggle. I mean, we've got one more Sunday before the election.
Yep.
And so let me offer this. If for some reason you think you need a ride to the polls, email us. Michelle will take you. info@tfmradioshow.com. And anybody you know that needs a ride to the polls, info@tfmradioshow.com. Anybody who wants to take somebody to the polls, same email.
Yep.
And we'll match you up because I'm not renting no damn vans.
That's what I was going to say. We could create a Google Doc.
We said we or you. You can do that, right? Michelle's going to do that for you guys. She's going to put together a Google Doc so she can get you to the polls. Michelle's going to do all of that.
Sure.
It's on her.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
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 And you can email me at Richard@WCPT820.
Oh, they gave you an email address?
Yeah, .com.
You real, man.
But seriously, we want to help out.
He's grown now. He's grown.
Grown. Yep.
Our child
took off the training wheels and everything.
What's your email address?
Richard@WCPT820.com. What? Yep. So
I'm getting a little misty now.
It's real now. It's real.
Little boy's
it's
grown
official.
up.
Yes.
I'm grown up.
Wait. The oldest one in the room.
He's all grown up. What are we going to
So
do?
proud. I'm so proud.
We're empty nesters now.
Yes, we are.
Oh my
I'm so glad when he comes back home at least once a month.
That's right.
To see us.
And he brings goodies.
Yes,
with
he
him, too.
brings goodies.
They come in empty-handed. Mama taught me better than that. And my wife is the one that makes it happen, y'all.
We love him for that.
Yes, we do.
These are some really meaty cupcakes, man. These are going to be...
They're going to go straight to your booty.
Right to the booty.
Yeah.
Booty expanders.
And made them just that way.
Booty expanders for sure.
Enjoy them. They're tasty.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Listen, y'all make sure you get your ass up in the morning and listen to Rich at 6
That's
from 8 a.m. on weekdays.
Your morning
Choose
drive.
Views is the spot you want to be at. Roll over in the bed and put your earphones in and listen to that.
Great way to start the day.
That's right, because he's the mayor of morning radio.
Yes, he is.
That's right.
Thank you. That's right, y'all.
Thank you for all the time you spent with us today. We know it's silly, and we know the sounds are crazy. That's what happens.
It's live radio.
Man up. Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Grant. Peace.
As long as The preceding program, The Family Meeting, was sponsored by Polaris Insurance Agency, and to the extent applicable their guests, the views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of Heartland Signal, LLC, or its management.
I spend quality time. Cute face, haircut, like the Halle design.
All right, it's a wrap, guys.
Hey, man, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Okay.
Don't stop. Buy a bunch of outfits to sexy and hot, so she could look good for FD. Overweight, love an MC. Rub you gently. You know it's Steve, big CEO, sex OT. Mac game, similar.
Okay, we're still on. We used to do this back in the old days, didn't we?
It's where it gets nasty.
Yeah, Michelle got to get all her cussing out right now. Get all your cussing out right now.
Say them words, y'all. Say them words.
No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at this, guys. Did she make these or what?
Yeah, he made them from scratch.
She made these
She
joints.
made a dozen
She made
of them
them?
joints.
Like, oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
she didn't buy that. That's not purchased.
She need to find something to do, man. She got too much time on her hands. This is really involved, man.
She loves doing that. She really does.
The little fancy box too, man.
Yeah, she did all that, man. She put all that from joints together. She put some joints.
Haven't you had enough already? You gonna eat these now?
That's your fault.
This is her
I'm
appetizer.
not going to eat it. I just want to
So
take
look
them
at
out
it.
and look at
You
them.
got you got an individual one too.
I saw that.
Because she couldn't put 4 in the box. It's like, well, I'll put them in the small
I
box.
love her so
She showed us
much.
she had a little kitty box here, man. And you expect me to share these things with people?
That's your call.
Okay.
You can
With
share,
people?
You can
How
share.
about Tiffany? She's not people. She's your wife. How about that?
You expect me to share it with these
Yes.
I will. I don't know if you guys like your pastries warm, cold, room temperature, whatever.
Either way.
But I would suggest. I mean, Eric doesn't drink coffee, but Michelle, you do. So,
people? You drink coffee?
Every now and then, yeah.
but it's very good with a cold glass of milk.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
but you know, at a certain age, you can't do milk no more. You mess around, get the mud butt drinking that milk.
What is going on with your body? It's totally
You know,
betraying
at your age, you know what's going on with my body.
I mean, my body's betraying me in different ways. At least I can still drink.
I'm settling in. You know, I'm 2 years into this thing.
You still drink milk?
Chocolate milk. I drink oat milk and what's the other one?
Almond milk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But I don't.
still
I
on
haven't. Eric, I haven't had any cow's milk in such a long time.
I think you're right here, Michelle.
But I
Who's
do,
there?
But I do drink chocolate milk.
Nobody's there.
Chocolate
I
milk.
think- look at that one for me. Look at this camera. Look at it for
I
me.
am.
Okay, then.
I'm looking right in it.
Okay, no.
Where am I? Am I not there?
Yeah, you're there. You're right here. Yeah.
Okay.
She's looking at the wrong camera.
And they smell so
Chocolate
good.
milk. That's been my new thing.
Is it? So they have chocolate almond milk now.
I know.
You drink that or regular milk?
I haven't had. I drink regular almond and oat milk, and occasionally I'll buy one of those bottles of chocolate milk. It's like 1% fat.
You get the mud butt from that?
Now listen. I've never had any food issues. Period.
Really?
Nothing. Not a thing. I have always been able to eat pretty much anything. Not pretty much. I've been able to eat anything. I'm very what's the word? Careful when it comes to something that has kale in it.
What?
Kale will activate my
Acid reflux.
acid reflux.
Kale does that.
More than anything else. And I got it on Friday night because the greens had kale in them, and I didn't think about it. So it was way too damn late. 3:30 in the morning. I'm sitting
Never heard. You sure it's not the vinegar or something they put
positive because the vinegar. I'm positive it's the kale.
Isn't that interesting?
I had a
That is.
salad.
I've never heard that.
Well, kale is a what's the word I'm going to use?
Can you eat mustard greens?
I can eat greens, period. But if they happen to be ones where somebody made them with kale, then I got a problem. And what kale is my sister Linda was telling me this. Kale is a accelerant. It's used in a lot of foods to help with digestive issues.
Oh.
And so kale can cause, if you have, and I don't have, let me put it this way. I actually have a hiatal hernia. And that son of a gun can be mean. I mean, it can be really mean, like to the point where I have to stand up and just walk around with my head back because it's just so. But outside of that, I don't have any issues with eating any food. I can eat anything I want to. The kale, I don't mess with. I don't mess with. I don't know where it came from. Don't know why, how I got this. My sister Linda has it too. So there's got to be something on my mother's side genetically.
Mm-hmm.
But and the procedure, I think I may have told you guys this before. It's so microscopic. It's like the size of a pinhead.
What is?
The hernia is.
Okay.
But the doctor told me, she said, there's a procedure for it, but do you really want to go through it? And I was like, anything in here that you got to work on, I ain't down with that.
Mm-hmm.
You can fix my
Because they got to
knees.
go down your throat to get that, right?
You can fix my knees, you can fix my hands, you can fix my back. Don't go in here and don't go in here. I ain't down with that. It's just not. And I'm not afraid of surgery because I've had a number, but for something like that doesn't, maybe twice a month I'll have an episode. I ain't getting under the knife for that. That's crazy.
Okay.
But I can milk. No, milk doesn't bother me.
You
Not
do
at
okay
all.
with milk?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Milk.
No, so I'm
I
the
can
only
still
one.
eat cheese. I still love cheese.
Yeah, love cheese.
I can do cheese, but milk I can't do.
Bubble guts?
I get the mud butt.
Yeah, man. Just lock the door to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Get some matches.
Knocking on the doors. Leave it alone.
Go down. That's that. Go to the other end of the house bathroom, the one that's for company. You have the John Weatherspoon moments.
Yeah. Swing the door open and a green mist comes out behind you.
Yeah.
One of my best friends came to stay with me in May.
She got the mud butt?
Wait a minute. She's always had issues back there. Our whole lives. We've been friends 35 years. And I have one.
That helps get boyfriends, doesn't it?
Wait. Well, anyway. So I have a 1-bedroom, right? And so she calls me and she says, I'm going to come and see you. She said, I'm going to come Wednesday and I'm going to leave the following Wednesday. And I said, okay, first, that's too long. And I said, where are you planning to stay? She said, I'm going to stay with you. I said, oh, no.
Oh, you're real hospitable, aren't you?
I'm like Michelle. Certain folks.
Because of her mud butt?
Yeah.
Oh, you telling us?
She knows.
She knows she can't come to your house because of the mud butt?
She knows. She's my best friend. She knows. She cannot. No, she stayed in a hotel.
I don't think you should have told us that, though. Because if we meet her, now we'll be like, oh.
You won't know which one I was talking about.
You the one.
It's all of them. Which one of y'all got the mud butt?
Wait.
You're such a jerk.
We meet some of Michelle's friends. We're like, so how long are you going to stay? She said, well, I don't stay with Michelle that much. That's the one.
Yeah. Nobody stays with me.
But see, okay, I know we're talking about that, but I'm the same way. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? But at this point, that's just me.
I hear you.
But there we go. Yeah, man, I know some people that got it really bad, though. Like, they sniff dairy product. And they camped out in the bathroom. Ooh, yep. Exactly. They're like done. Michelle, they got it so, I know some folks got it so bad. Like, yeah. They just,
Eric with the sound effect.
Yeah.
Shut up! Stop it.
And then some.
You just tickle yourself. Bodily. Men and bodily. What is it? Why do men always laugh at fart jokes?
Women laugh. Wait, hold on. Wait, right.
It's a man thing.
No, it's not.
A fart in and of itself is just funny by itself.
Listen. Some of the most hilarious videos on Instagram right now are women farting their behind off and recording it.
Oh my God.
Trust me, I've seen some. I'm like,
yeah, but it's just the fart by itself. It's funny.
Like my mother said, women can be nasty as hell. My mother said that to me.
Everything that comes with it is funny. Everything,
If you can't laugh,
different kinds of farts is just a loud one, the soft ones, the wet ones. It's all of them are funny.
Unless you're forced to be in the presence of Donald Trump, anytime somebody farts, it's going to be some.
Farting. He's pooping in his pants.
You don't know this.
He's poop. Why do you defend that?
I don't defend. I'm just
about
saying.
it.
You heard he does that. That's what you heard.
I've read it. I've heard it.
We've heard it from
seen
people.
It.
We've heard it from people.
But you've never stood next to his dumb ass and heard him do that.
Look, you can see people's faces. Do you know what I read the other day? That the people who are on, what is it, the 5 on the Fox show, the morning show, that when they have DT on there, they put mentha
menthol on their lip, like you're going into
menthol under their nose.
like you're going into
Like a coroner.
a crime scene.
Yeah.
I heard it too.
Because they couldn't sit next to him if they didn't.
And they did put a towel. They did put a thing down. When he was on y'all didn't see that?
No!
Basically, they put a tarp down on and it was they put him in the middle so that the curvature of the seating that they have on there.
Y'all be making stuff up.
No, no, I swear to goodness, it was. He had to sit on
Last week? Was this last week?
Early last week, or I think it was last weekend, a week ago. He was on Fox and he was sitting in the thing, and there's two people on each side of him.
Yeah.
And somebody picked up that there was this black thing on that he was sitting on. Wasn't nobody else sitting on nothing but him.
So you saying the man boo-boo through his pants?
That's what they. I guess
through his pants.
That's what they say. There's a shot.
He doesn't change them. He just
he wears the
shits
same
in them.
pants.
He just shits in them. It just
I just be making.
I mean, he takes them off maybe at the end of the day.
So and there's a picture of him on the golf course. We got out of the golf cart, and he was soil from his waistband all the way to his crack.
Oh.
So I mean, how many times you been in a golf cart, Eric, and you hit a bump on the fairway? Boom.
I love that so much.
Yeah, right.
Okay, have you guys voted yet?
Gonna vote on Monday. Tomorrow.
You voted yet?
I'm gonna put my ballot in the mail.
You gonna mail it in?
How about you?
Because I'm working.
Not yet.
I'm working on election day.
Are you where?
I hope. I haven't checked my email yet, but I was at the police station for the primary off of Division. You know what I'm talking about? Division and...
I don't do police stations. I don't know where they are.
Well, it's kind of over there by the Tarjay.
Oh, yeah, before you get to Halstead.
Yes.
Where the fire department is.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So I'm hoping I'll be there again.
Poll watcher or?
I'm an election judge.
Wouldn't it be something else if a bunch of brothers showed up at a swing state election area that permits, open carry? About a dozen brothers showed up at a place with, AR-15 strapped and,
They would arrest them.
Yeah.
They would.
Yeah.
They might even shoot them. I wouldn't wish that on them brothers.
Although I would love for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's legal. It's open carry. Why can't they?
Listen, y'all don't. I'll apologize if I'm wrong. It's going to happen. There are going to be brothers that are going to show up at polling places this year that are going to be strapped. Where in places where it's allowed, they're going to show up that way. I'm not being.
Those dear brothers are going to get shot.
Well, it'll be filmed, unfortunately.
There'll be no recourse. That's the shameful part about
That's the bad part about it. Well, maybe it will be. Because they'll be standing right next to white people with guns.
That might get shot too.
It won't be just them.
Yeah, much more careful when white folks are around, I guess.
Well, then maybe nobody will get shot.
They're going to menace them because I remember I think it was last election, there was some Black Panthers. There was some Black Panthers who went to a polling place, and they were arrested.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel that we're tired, and there's folks that are not afraid to show it this time around and going forward. So I don't think it's going to be about us living with them, about them living with us. So,
yeah, I think we should flip it around and look at it that way.
And the one thing that's interesting is that we don't walk that as crazy as it sounds. We don't walk around showing what we got. Those who carry, we do take it seriously in terms of concealed carry.
Do you have a gun?
No, I don't. We talked about it, and candidly, we've had this conversation, and I think I even said this a few weeks ago with you guys. And I've had this conversation because, the kind of couple that we are, that if Trump were to win, would that change? And we've talked about it. Doesn't mean we've decided that it would change, but we've certainly talked about it. And we'll figure out where we go. But, we travel a lot in places where, like we have friends and family in parts of the country that don't like the fact that we're married still to this day.
Sure.
So
it's that time between November 5th and whatever number of months that is probably going to be the most volatile. And Look, I'm prepared to harm somebody.
So am I.
If it comes to it.
I don't own a gun. Here's the thing. There's a crazy thing about me and guns. I'm very good with guns. I'm very good with guns in terms of firing them, both rifles and well as pistols, largely because of years ago training that I went through for them. I'm very good with guns. I can take somebody out. I know what I'm doing in that space. I only say that because if it gets to that point, I'm not going to go down that direction, but I am going to make sure that that we're protected in the ways that are allowed.
See, my daughter is in the South, and my son is in the South, and
this is a great jam. This is a forgotten great jam.
Yeah.
Ray Parker,
He's
still in
quite
the
a
groove.
guitarist too.
Yeah, sorry.
Do they have guns?
No. I'm actually more afraid for my son than I am my daughter, just because he's a black man, and because my daughter will kill your ass with her hands.
I believe that.
She's a brute like that. Malcolm's a big fella, 6'4", good-looking fella, drives a luxury vehicle. I'm almost inclined to go down there election day just to make sure.
But see, election day is not the one to be concerned about. I think it's, and I understand your
Day
sentiment.
after.
I think it's the days, to your point a moment ago, the days after.
Yeah.
This is my feeling. The craziest time is going to be, like Palace said, around December 11th and 17th, when the state stuff is happening, and between then and Inauguration Day. I do believe that Vice President Harris wins, that getting to Inauguration Day is going to be the big challenge. After that, there'll be craziness, but it'll the galvanization that they're going to have with the state governors is going to be real. It's going to be real. There's a reason that she has made a point of connecting the dots between her and Shapiro and Gretchen and these others, because they know what they're up against.
But she's going to be in real danger for the entirety of her first term.
Sure she will. We know that.
She's in danger right now.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, sometimes when I see footage of her, I
In
get
crowds,
scared.
I do too.
Because she's so touchy-feely like me, and she wants to touch people and talk to them and look at them. And you see how she touches children's faces. You know, she's that kind of person.
Yeah.
And it's going to come to a point where she can't be anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
It's too
That's the
dangerous.
reality of it. That is a reality.
I mean, Obama was in danger, but I think she's in the middle of the backlash now.
Yeah.
And she's a woman. Come on.
Yeah,
She's
a woman
got breasts.
and a black woman too.
Oh
and
my gosh.
and she gets to call her own election. She gets to certify her own election. Oh, we got to do away
All
with
kind
her.
of wrong with that.
well, let's have
That's
let's have
amazing.
some real fun with the optics of this. Okay. This again goes about why the folks are freaking out. She wins. She's the president of the United States. Got a good old country boy that's down with everybody in Tim Walz. And then a Speaker of the House with the
gosh.
name Hakeem Jeffries.
Oh my God!
Hold on.
They're gonna lose their damn mind.
Hold on, y'all. And then Chuck Schumer comes down with the flu, and the Senate Majority Leader becomes Cory Booker.
Oh, hello. Is anybody home?
I mean, let's just go there.
They will launch a revolution.
Break it out.
They will lose their damn minds.
Oh, that is amazing.
But listen, the only part of that is Schumer stepping down as Senate Majority Leader. But it's not unrealistic that could happen, and Cory is the Senate Majority Leader. Because who else would it be in the Senate right now? I mean, let's be honest. It's a bunch of other than it's a bunch of old white dudes. There's no white woman that's a senator that's gonna, that's got the gravitas to take that role.
Is Cory the next senior outside of the old?
Well, in
guys?
terms of capability and reach, he should be. I think he's.
Who knows?
Who knows?
You know what they do though is when they see that it's just it gets over Negroized.
Right.
They make adjustments, which is to a degree the same thing Kamala did in choosing her running mate, because it would have been ideal if she chose a woman. Mm-hmm. But that would have been too many women.
Who she had beer with last night, that would have been a perfect.
She and Gretchen running together.
That would have been
perfect. That was my dream ticket. I mean, I came out of the ether of recognizing that Governor Whitmer. I can stop calling her Gretchen. Governor Whitmer took herself out of the running However, in terms of capability, yeah, that's a great ticket.
But the shameful part is they couldn't.
Is they
I know,
can't.
they
That's
can't.
exactly right.
Says
Eric.
they can't.
That's right.
Exactly
That's
right.
And realistically, to you saying, I forgot the word you used, but we need to get a white dude on the ticket because we needed to satisfy the white dudes out there that are the problem in the first damn place.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the hard wording for white folks to hear right now. This is your mess. This is not our mess. I'm going to play a clip tomorrow that I think is spot on. It's got some profanity in it, so they had to edit it out. But it's a white dude that he brings it. He basically says, "Listen, I'm damn tired of us asking black folks to save this damn country." He said,
Over and over.
He said, I look like the guys that stormed the Capitol, but I'm not. He said, I'm here to tell you, I'm not down with some of the things that we've done in the Middle East, and I got issues with that, but I'm down with Vice President Harris because she's trying to save democracy. And he says, look, y'all, I'm tired of us asking black women and black men to save this damn country. We asked black women to save us down in Georgia, and they did. Now we're asking black men to save us again. He said, when are white folks going to get off their behind, he uses the other word, and save the country that he said, there ain't no black folks that are overtaking the country. There ain't no Muslims overtaking the country. It's white folks that are.
White dudes.
White dude. Well, he said, does he say white men or what? I can't remember. But anyhow, he says, I think he says white men that trying to tell. No. He said it's guys that look like me. So yeah, by default, white dudes.
I mean, all of the carnage and the colonization, everything is all a white dude idea.
And white women, unfortunately, who need to stay close to the patriarchy. I mean,
They want us to stand up and then stand down when they get what they want.
Sure.
I always use Tiger Woods as my example for what we talk about when white people, we play the game, we play it fairly by their rules, we win, then they change the.
Yeah, they move the goalposts.
Yeah, that when I showed you guys the national championship trophy for Howard Soccer, they won it in 1970, whatever. They changed. First off, they disqualified the team when they won. Then they changed the rules, and then they won it again the next year.
Do you realize that? I mean, to the point about Tiger, had they, and I'm the golf nerd here, but had they not changed, they Tigerized most of the courses in America, Tiger would probably have. He would have broken the, quote, Jack's record, one. And two, he'd have another 10, maybe 15 victories.
Which was their point, right?
Right. And nobody else, that is the coarse conversation right now about the changes that America goes through because they cannot accept the fact that they are a bunch of weak asses at the end of the day. It just is. And the exposure is that they're not the... I'm a broken record, but they're not the strongest, fastest, bestest, and they never have been.
You did say bestest, didn't you?
I did,
yes.
by design.
I just trying to make sure.
It's the beauty of being black. You make up some words.
Make up some words, that's right.
And they make sense.
You heard him say bestest, right?
I did, I heard it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't. Like it was a hiccup in the word best.
Nah.
Best is, like something like that.
Bestest,
Okay.
like Festivus, Bestivus.
That's right.
No, man. I mean, let's listen to the grooves that you're playing right now.
What you know about this, man?
That's us. You hear that piano in the background, man?
He picked out the piano.
Take the lyrics out. Take the vocals out. Just listen to the lyrics, man.
Erykah Badu. I thought she should have played Billie Holiday in the movie.
She's more sultry. Yeah.
Her singing style is like Billie Holiday.
Well, that throatiness that she has.
Yeah, snotty noses.
Yeah. I know.
Alabama State, baby. Alabama State.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. That's we ain't staying the whole time tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta get home.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.